29F. First, I just want to thank anyone who takes the time to read this entire thing. I just really need to vent. I'm currently fighting the urge to gamble, and every time I get the urge, I come on here and read your stories. So this time, I figured I'd share mine. I started gambling 3.5 years ago. I've been at my current job for 7 years and had built up a savings of $125,000. I didn't have a history of gambling. I've only been to an actual casino 3 times in my entire life. I had been frugal and pretty financially responsible up until that point, like so frugal that I meal prepped all my meals at home weekly, stuck to a strict monthly budget, didn't travel, rarely went out with friends, never had a care note, and almost never treated myself to anything nice. Anyways, I knew about the whole online gambling thing because a lot of my friends were into it, sports betting to be specific. In fact, the year before I started gambling, someone I know lost it all on a basketball game and wasn't able to pay any of their bills. And I remember thinking, who the hell spends all lal of their money fucking gambling? And I remember writing them off in my mind as irresponsible, and I judged them from a distance. Who would have known that I'd be finding myself gambling away all my motherfucking money, lol? Karma for judging, I guess, lol. Anyways, what kicked it all off for me was overhearing the guys at work mentioning their tickets and all the money they were cashing out online gambling. So I became curious, talked to one of them about it. They told me to download FanDuel, and that's when it all began. I was just doing shit, lol. My very first bet was $400 on a soccer game. I don't even watch sports, y'all. Like what in the actual hell? And I lost, of course. But at the time, that $400 was nothing to me, and each time I lost, I just thought to myself, I'll get it back. So I started putting in ticket after ticket on a variety of different sports because in my mind, the goal is the same no matter the sport. And that goal was to win. So I studied the teams, trotched players' stats, and used them as guides to create my tickets. I was on YouTube subscribing to random sports betting podcasts, joining sports betting groups on social media. Really thought this was about to be my new career. So I did that on and off for about a year, had some wins and losses, but nothing life-changing. And it didn't really affect my bank account too much. At that point, I had a realtor was looking to buy my first house and was still pretty financially set. Then, a year later, I started taking losses, but not from gambling, just from life. Made a bad car purchase, lent out large sums of money thinking I'd get it back. So much more. And I realized that I was down $25,000, which was nothing compared to the $100,000 that I still had. But I still panicked and wanted to find a way to get my money back. So I started gambling again, but instead of for fun like it had been before this time, I was trying to get that $25,000 back. I started diversifying my funds on FanDuel and went over to the casino side, and my first casino drug of choice was blackjack. I put $5,000 onto my account, and in less than 15 minutes I turned that into $38,000. After that, gambling became an everyday thing. It consumed my life, and for the next year, it felt like a drug high. The urge is so strong I could feel my mouth watering, just itching to play whenever I could. I began winning big and losing big and started playing a variety of other games like roulette, slots, and crazy time. And in less than 12 months, I burned through my entire savings, like went into the negative several times and everything. I hit rock bottom, started taking out loans telling myself I'd use them to get on my feet, just to turn around and gamble it all away. I started getting behind on bills, and for a while, every time I did get paid, I had to spend it to pay off debts or past due bills. Didn't have enough to maintain my piece of shit car, so I started taking public transportation and Ubering everywhere. And that became too much. So I started calling out some days just because I couldn't afford it or didn't want to deal with my city's trains or even buses. And oddly, when I did have a few bucks to spare, I'd just spend it irresponsibly on something I didn't need because I was afraid I'd just end up spending it on gambling anyway. And then it became this hopeless cycle of gambling, losing it all, stopping completely, spending irresponsibly on random things, then relapsing over and over. I started lying to my family about why I was broke all of a sudden. I became the selfish friend and family member, not showing up for them or for myself. Went from being the one person you could lean on to being the leany Loel. Became extremely depressed and started isolating myself to the point where I stopped leaving my house. Unless it was to go to work, and bed rotting became like a second job. Everything that I found joy in didn't matter anymore.